So, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all of you who have joined us today for this wonderful program. Well, for today's program, we have someone very special from India, and the person is known as GEET Sagar. Let me tell you something about GEET Sagar. GEET Sagar is actually an Indian singer, and he won the international singing reality show known as X Factor. He has been singing for the movies in India and has sung for movies like Jagga Jasoos, Ludo, Dolly Kitty or Wo Chamakte Sitare, Tashkent Files, Nautanki Sala, and Chichore. Well, Geet is also an accomplished lyricist and poet. He has written songs for singles and movies. He has been also active as a voiceover artist and actor. His debut movie as an actor releases this 23rd of July, and the film is called Chauda Fere. Not only has he acted in movies, but he has also written 2 songs for this movie. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please allow me to introduce your host for the night, your host for the day, and your host for this event, my dear friend, my kind friend, Geet Sagar.
Thank you very, very much, Nabil. That was a wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone, and very warm virtual welcome to all of you. I'm Geet Sagar, your host, and we shall be taking this wonderful ride together. Sounds good. I'm grateful to be a part of this event, which was born out of empathy and crafted with love, which binds us all together despite the distances. Thank you all for joining your hands and heart for this noble cause. Whenever barriers are erected and distances are created, art is always the best kind of bridge, a bridge that helps us all cross over. Sounds good.
Okay, so thank you, Geet. That was wonderful. Sorry, I just took a 2-minute break. I don't know why. But I guess let's get the program started. And as we have it on our schedule, may I please request you to invite Rajgopal ji and Jill to the program, and a very warm welcome to our attendees tonight.
Sure. Before that, I would like to start the evening by thanking all of you who are watching this program live and will be contributing to the cause in more than monetary ways. Since an audience is an artist's fuel, you will play an equal part in making this program a success. I also thank all the artists who have joined us from around the globe for making this happen. All the charity raised through this live session will go towards the welfare of the frontline women workers who have heroically worked for pandemic relief in India. This event is a part of a larger campaign that has been organized by 6 Gandhian and peace organizations in Canada and the United States. In these times of troubled political relations across the globe, such a collaboration is a heartwarming reminder of generosity, solidarity, fraternity, and all such values that make us all human. The first part of the campaign was dedicated to raising money for COVID relief work being done by frontline women workers in rural India. We are pleased to announce that within 8 weeks, the campaign was able to reach its goal of raising $100,000. Most of that money came through individual donations of $5,000 to $5,000. Now we are embarking on a campaign to raise $50,000. I'm pleased to announce that we have already raised $7,000, and with your help over the next little while, we hope to meet, if not exceed, our goal. All the donators can go to the GoFundMe page set up for the campaign. The website is www.gofundme.com. Or you can simply search for the Frontline Women in India within the GoFundMe website. You can click on the donate button and use your credit card to donate. 100% of your donations will go to support frontline workers. IGI-NP Canada will cover the fee involved. For those interested in the art auction, they can go to the website www.32auctions.com. All the items will be available for bidding until next Sunday, that is July 18th. And without further ado, allow me to invite Dr. Jill and Mr. P.V. Rajgopal to say a few words. Growing up in Canadian schools in the 1960s and 70s taught Jill to love peace. She has spent over 30 years in India working on the issues of women on the ground. At present, she coordinates a small training and research program in South India on Gandhian nonviolence and peace. And she travels throughout the country doing education and action programs. P.V. Rajgopal is a prominent Indian human rights defender, a member of the Gandhian fraternity, who is the founder of a non-violent social movement named Ekta Parishad, dedicated to restoring land, forest, and water rights on the rural poor in their local communities. Since 2019, in celebration of Gandhiji's 150th birth anniversary, Jill and Rajgopal have been taking Gandhi's message across the globe as a way to spread peace and non-violence through the campaign known as Jai Jagat, which literally means victory of the world. Please welcome Dr. Jill and Mr. P.V. Rajgopal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Geet. Thank you so much, Geet. I just want to welcome all the viewers who have come today. I know people are slowly entering, and this is an international solidarity event that we're doing by Zoom. We wish we could do it in person, but we have the facility to do it by Zoom, so we can bring to this event so many artists from different places. I wanted to begin by saying how this event is really a celebration. It's a celebration of solidarity. Solidarity, not only that the performers are showing through their music, but a solidarity of your presence, being in contact with the frontline women workers who are presently those people working on pandemic relief, and why we're in solidarity with them. You know, in the past year, everybody has suffered from COVID, and suffered both in terms of sickness, among families and friends, but also economically in terms of what has happened due to the lockdown. But most affected by this have been those who are most marginalized among us, and they have really suffered struggled for their very survival. And what is quite amazing is how we have been able to see frontline, and women in particular, workers respond to their families and to their communities in bringing some help, assistance, and support for people to carry on and develop themselves in spite of these big challenges. So the solidarity that we're celebrating today is for those frontline workers who have already begun so much work with 100,000 households across 8 states of India, many districts, more than 35 districts, and they have been able to respond and deeply see that people's suffering is somewhat lessened. I think what is so interesting about these frontline workers in Ekta Parishad is how they are able to see self-reliance and community resilience against the COVID as their primary goal. And I know that you will hear more about that in this program. The 18 performing artists that have come together today are from many parts of India. They come from the US and from Canada, but many of them are from different backgrounds. And it reminds us of how solidarity is so rich when it comes from so many different countries, as we will be seeing in the next 2.5 hours, many of these performing artists. And they have brought their message to you and to show support for the women in the field, the frontline workers of Ekta. I want to say that there's additionally 14 visual artists that have also joined these 18 performing artists to bring their pictures for you to see on the site, the 32auctions.com site. I hope all of you will visit it, and it will be open for the next 2 weeks for your contributions, as our GEET has said. And just to conclude, I want to thank the 6 groups across Canada that have collected already $100,000 and continue to work to bring the frontline issues to people in Canada. In particular, for this performance, you can see we're just showing you on the screen some of the beautiful pictures of the art auction by the 14 visual artists that have contributed these for free for your donation that will go directly to the field. But I would just like to say that all of this has been brought by a technical team. I want to give special thanks to Gary, to Janmajay, of course, to GEET, our host, and they have really worked so hard to make this possible. But there are many others as well who have done the promotion, the logistics, finance, all volunteers that bring this wonderful program. It's an amazing team. It shows how everybody can bring so much forward to make this day, this performance that you're going to see so rich and so important, not only for all of us, but for the frontline women to whom it's directed. I thank all of you, and I hope that you will leave here remembering Jai Jagat, victory to the world, all for the planet for all. We are together. Jai Jagat.
Geet, if you may please unmute yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jill. And now I would like to invite Mr. Rajgopal to say a few words.
Thank you. Friends, greetings from India. First of all, my thanks to our friend Geet Sagar and his team for coordinating this solidarity event. I'm also here to say thanks to all those who made a generous contribution that allowed us to reach out to more than 100,000 people, especially in rural India. Believe me when I say that your help at this time of crisis helped us to save many, many lives. Thanks to all those Gandhian organizations in Canada for coming together to coordinate this campaign to raise resources to support our relief work in India. Friends, Ekta Parishat and Ekta Mahila Manch are mass-based organizations who are working with the most marginalized communities in India. These organizations are built around Mahatma Gandhi's idea that all programs and policies should address the problems of the poorest and weakest people in the society. So as followers of Gandhi's ideas, We believe that the end result of any action should empower the communities to be self-reliant and not to be permanently dependent on outside sources and outside actors. So for many years, our organization was focusing on one important agenda, that is to promote leadership from the community itself. And these grassroots leadership, especially the women, who took the challenge to reach out to thousands of people who are in need of support in far-off villages. You will be happy to know that these women frontline workers not only reached out to large number of families, but they also provided support to government, because whenever government wanted to reach out to people, they needed the support of our frontline workers. With your generous support, we have succeeded to provide medicines to many, organizing isolation camps, nutritious food to children and pregnant women, to provide shelter and food to families who have just returned from cities, the migrant workers who are without employment. And we also used part of your support for general awareness to help people to follow COVID protocol and to accept vaccination. It will be too early for me to say that the challenges are over. There are many families who are still in need of support. There is also a fear of a third wave. So at the end, I want to thank all of you for your solidarity and support. But let me also take this opportunity to invite you to visit our communities and meet our courageous and dedicated frontline women workers whenever you are in India. You're always welcome to come and visit us. Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Rajgopal. Now, let us watch together a short film which will throw some light on what exactly we are trying to achieve and why. This short film is really to show the direct way in which funds have been channeled to frontline workers, especially women. In this film, we hear from the different workers in the field who are distributing both medicine and food to the most vulnerable populations. We are so happy to see how large and extensive this effort is, as it covers 100 districts of India. There are no overhead charges in this process, and the money goes straight to the field, to the needy ones. The overhead charges are being absorbed by IGINP. So please open your hearts and donate generously. And now we see the movie, the short film, which we have made to show you what exactly we are doing and how and why.
Tragedy strikes again, and in 2021, COVID-19 is back in India.
COVID-19 infections almost looks like a bit of a tsunami. The number of infections are skyrocketing, with the healthcare system having been pushed to the brink of collapse.
जय जगत कोविड की दूसरी लहर में वास्तव में दूसरी लहर बहुत भयानक थी, जहां पर ऑक्सीजन अस्पताल में बेड की बहुत कमी हो गई थी। उस स्थिति में एकता परिषद और उसके साथी मैदान में थे और सभी लोगों को मेडिसिन देने का काम कर रहे थे। साथ ही जो लोग कोविड पॉजिटिव थे उनको अस्पताल में देने का काम किया। कोरोना की इस परिस्थिति में जिस प्रकार एकता परिषद और साथियों ने दवाइयों को और खाद्य सुरक्षा को लेकर के 1 लाख लोगों का लक्ष्य रखा था, उसको प्राप्त करने का काम किया। इसमें यूरोप और कनाडा के साथियों ने जो सहयोग दिया, जो हौसला दिया, उत्साहवर्धन किया, उसके लिए मैं उन सभी का एकता परिषद की ओर से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और उम्मीद करता हूं कि आपका सहयोग निरंतर मिलता रहेगा। सबको जय जगत।
Ekta Parishad began its part by participating in the Kill Corona campaign and deputed 35 teams in this area of operation. Ekta Parishad did not go solo on it. We made sure that we were in support with the health department. Under the Kill Corona campaign, about 100,000 people were reached. The support ranged from nutrition support to isolation services and hospital admissions. This was a four-dimensional program starting with medical support, nutritional support for pregnant and lactating mothers, and also included participation with the government system for immunization. And the next two components of the program were nutrition of children and dry ration distribution for the families in need. Needless to say, with the need of the hour, large awareness campaigns were also organized.
Friends, I'm sitting here right now in Killa, which is one of the coordination centers for the relief operation. Currently, the larger focus of our relief operation is to understand the level of problems, especially the old age people are facing, the people with disabilities are facing, the small children are facing, the single women are facing. We think that right now we are in the second phase of relief operation. We want to scale up. If we have resources, we could easily scale up because there is a growing demand from the field. And in between, probably you heard that there is a potential threat for the third wave of Corona. And God knows, but if it's happened, then definitely we need a lot of other preparation, a lot of resources to reach out to a large number of people who are under the threat and who are facing some issues because of this pandemic.
जरूरी है, पेट नहीं है, आपका ही पेट है, हमारा पेट नहीं है, तो आप खाओगे एक रोटी तो आधी हमें भी मिलेगी।
बाजार नहीं जा पाते, कभी सामान नहीं ला पाते, लोन दान रहा होता बते।
पिछले साल से ज़्यादा इस साल लोग परेशान हुए लॉकडाउन लगने से, जिसमें सबसे ज़्यादा प्रभावित गर्भवती महिला और धात्री महिलाएं हुई। उनको खाने पीने के लिए पोषण आहार न मिलने के कारण वो कुपोषित हो गई और कमज़ोर हो गई।
हम लोग जैसे कि कापसी गांव में और भी बहुत सारे गांव है, वहाँ पे हम लोग वैक्सीन के लिए लोगों को प्रोत्साहित करते, मोटिवेट करते कि बहुत सारे लोग पहले डर रहे थे कि टीका लगाने से लोग मर जाते हैं, लेकिन हम जैसे आंगनबाड़ी कार्यकर्ता दीदी है, शकुंतला दीदी, हम सब मिलके जाते, आशा कार्यकर्ता है, आंगनबाड़ी कार्यकर्ता, सब लोग मिलके जाते और गांव में मोहल्ले में लोगों को मोटिवेट करते हैं कि
मैं शबनम मुल्तानी, प्रदेश श्योपुर से एकता परिषद महात्मा गांधी सेवाश्रम, हम लोग वंचित समुदाय के बीच में हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। कोरोना महामारी के दौरान हम लोगों आदिवासी अंचल में हम लोगों ने काम किया है, जिसमें देखा गया है कि समुदाय स्तर पर कोरोना काल में जो लोग बेरोजगार हो गए, जो लोग महामारी के शिकार हुए, जो लोग घरों से बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहे थे, उस दौरान उनको ज़रूरत थी। एकता परिषद के द्वारा हम लोगों ने जो उनको सपोर्ट किया, बच्चों के लिए हम लोगों ने देसी सत्तू का हम लोगों ने बच्चों के लिए दिया, जिसमें हम लोग 4000 बच्चों को कवर किया इसमें बेसिक सत्तू के। साथ ही हम लोगों ने माताओं, गर्भवती माताओं पर इसमें देखा गया कि बहुत बड़ा प्रभाव पड़ रहा था, बहुत बड़ा अंतर था कि वो स्वास्थ्य सेवाएं नहीं ले पा रही थी, स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं के साथ में अन्य बीमारियों की शिकार भी हो रही थी, तो उन तक पहुंचना बहुत जरूरी था। जहां शासन नहीं पहुंच पा रहा था, शासन को भी हम लोगों ने अवगत कराया कि दूरांचल में गर्भवती और धात्री माताओं की प्रेगनेंसी घर में होने लगी है, जो कि डिलीवरी स्वास्थ्य विभाग में होना चाहिए, उनके पोषण स्तर भी लगातार गिर रहा है।
साथियों, मेरा नाम कस्तूरी है और मैं बुंदेलखंड बघेलखंड के क्षेत्र में काम करती हूँ। और अभी जो कोरोना राहत में मैंने काम किया तो उसमें महिलाओं की बहुत ही दयनीय स्थिति है। और जब मैं गांव-गांव में गई और जब उनका पूरा अपना किट का काम की तो वो पूरे विधवा महिला इतनी ज़्यादा तादाद में है और बहुत सारी बहनें पलायन करके भी चली जाती हैं, वापस भी आएँ। जो विधवा उनके पति नहीं हैं, जिनके बच्चे हैं तो बच्चे भी उनके से दूर हैं और से उनकी बहुत ही हालत खराब है।
Raj, Coordinator Ekta Parishad Tamil Nadu. I am in Pollachi, Coimbatore district. It was west part of Tamil Nadu. We are surrounding the Anamalai Hills region. We are working for the tribal indigenous community in this region. So we have the two different kind of Adivasis in this region. That one kind of people, they are living in the top of the hills. It was highly protected area. It was called Anamalai Tiger Reserve. In the name of conservation, people denied their basic rights, especially their land rights and the health rights. So in this COVID second wave situation, very early stage, we are provide the medical kit, especially the temperature check monitor, digital thermometer and oximeter. So in this medical kit, our volunteer, our women leaders, they also very effectively know that how we are handled with COVID.
मैं पश्चिमी मध्य प्रदेश के मालवांचल जहाँ पर भील भिलाला ट्राइबल रहते हैं वहाँ पर काम करती हूँ और यहाँ जिस तरह से कोरोना आया पूरे देश में वहाँ पर पहली वेव में तो शहर तक ही सीमित था पर दूसरी वेव जो आया वो गांव-गांव में सर्दी खांसी बुखार से लोग बहुत पीड़ित थे। यहाँ के पूरे ट्राइबल जो है माइग्रेट होते हैं क्योंकि बहुत छोटी-छोटी खेती है, भूमिहीन परिवार है और ज्यादातर पूरे परिवार जो है माइग्रेट होते हैं उसमें महिलाएं और बच्चे सबसे ज्यादा प्रभावित। एक तब से जन संगठन के माध्यम से जो हमको सहयोग मिल पाया उसको हमने पोषण आहार के रूप में गर्भवती और धात्री महिलाओं को ही हम दे पाए, कुपोषित बच्चों को दे पाए, कुछ बच्चों को एनआरसी में भी एडमिट किया। पर अभी जो हालत जो तीसरा वेव जो आने वाला है उसमें बहुत ही ज्यादा लोग दिक्कत महसूस कर रहे हैं क्योंकि लोगों के पास काम भी नहीं है, बरसात भी नहीं हो पाया, यहाँ पर बहुत कम बरसात होता है, लोगों की खेती जो बोए हैं वो अभी सूख रहा है और जो लोगों के हाथ में अभी कोई भी काम भी नहीं है और अनाज भी नहीं है लोगों के हाथ में।
जय जगत, on behalf of Ekta Parishad and Ekta Mahila Men's India, I want to thank all of you who support Ekta Parishad relief campaign for last few months. Mainly, we are focusing on the health and medical support in the initial stage. There was a volunteer group who is really identifying hospital, doctors, medicine and trying to help the needy people on the ground.
So hello friends and Jai Jagat. As you saw in this movie, there are hundreds of women, thousands of women working through women groups to save the people on the ground and help them with all possible modes. Friends, this has been a very exciting journey. Your support has not only enabled us to support these people, but also enabled us to boost our own personal morals. Friends, we look towards your further support and hope that we shall together overcome and be able to combat this monster known as COVID-19. Jai Jagat.
जय जगत जय जगत जय जगत पुकार जा जय जगत जय जगत जय जगत पुकार जा जय जगत पुकार जा सिर अमन पे वार जा जय जगत पुकार जा सिर अमन पे वार जा सबके हित के वास्ते अपना सुख बिसार जा सबके हित के वास्ते अपना सुख बिसार जा जय जगत जय जगत जय जगत पुकार जा जय जगत जय जगत जय जगत पुकार जा।
So as you see, trying to make a difference makes all the difference. Please donate generously. I must repeat, when you donate, all the money goes straight to the cause. The overhead charges and any kind of fee is taken care by IGI-NP. As we move forward, I'm delighted to introduce to you our esteemed guests who believe in the cause and have a few things to say. Ujjal Dosanjh is a very well-respected advocate for peace and justice in Canada. He has served the country as a member of the legislature of the province of British Columbia, including a term as Premier of the province and as a member of the Parliament for 7 years, including a term as Minister of Health. He now devotes his time to writing and his family. Shashi Tharoor is an author, politician, and former international civil servant. Dr. Shashi Tharoor straddles many worlds of experience. Currently, a third-term Lok Sabha MP representing the Thiruvananthapuram constituency and chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Information Technology, he has previously served as Minister of Government of India. He has previously served as Minister of State for Human Resource Development and Minister of State for External Affairs in the Government of India. During his nearly 3-decade-long prior career at the United Nations, he served as a peacekeeper, refugee worker, and administrator at the highest levels, serving as Under Secretary General during Kofi Annan's leadership of the organization. Maya Soetoro-Ng is a noted peace activist and educator from Hawaii, United States. She is currently director of the Spark M. Matsunaga Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution at the University of Hawaii. Maya also works on issues of women and leadership through her role as a consultant for the Obama Foundation. Such distinguished guests have to say something. Let's listen what they have to say.
Friends, Ekta Parishad has been doing tremendous amount of work on the front lines in COVID relief. As a former Minister of Health, I can tell you that relief work needs to continue. They need more resources, they need your help. Dig deep into your pockets to help as much as you can, because the poor, the marginalized, the neediest of the needy in India need organizations like Ekta Parishad to continue to do the most important work in the most difficult times for COVID relief. Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you. Dr. Tharoor now.
Namaskar, I'm Shashi Tharoor, and I'm delighted to join you in inviting people to Jai Jagat's international musical and dance program online in support of women frontline workers for pandemic relief. I've seen the work of the great Gandhian, P.V. Rajagopal and Ekta Parishad at the grassroots level, and I'm fully convinced of the importance that they attribute to the support of frontline women workers so that relief goes directly to the people who need it most. The daily wage workers, Adivasis, marginalized people, people in distress as this COVID pandemic rages through the land. So I would urge you all to attend this online event, enjoy the music and the dance, and give support to this extraordinary effort to empower and finance the women workers in the pandemic. Thank you very much. See you online. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Now we look at Maya Ji's video.
Hello, my name is Maya Soetoro, and I'm so pleased and honored to greet you today and thank you profusely for all that you are and are doing to meet the enormous challenges, the immediate and long-term needs of beloved community. I am especially grateful for all that you have done to support frontline communities and the women who are doing so much to help prevent the spread of COVID, to educate, to organize, to secure resources, to heal, and to think about long-term recovery and growth. Your support and care is helping those who are striving, struggling, and suffering to feel uplifted, recognized. Your music and artistry helps us all to focus not simply on what we have lost, but also all that remains. The music, the leadership, the shared endeavor, the activism, and the personal practice deepen our courage as we look towards the climb and the long road ahead, and are able to move beyond our own narrow umbilical stories to see that the world is vast, our friends and family are many. I really believe that what we need today is a strength-based approach as we rebuild beloved community, and the frontline workers we celebrate today, they know what is needed to navigate through the storms of this time. They have gifts, they have the best solutions, and they can communicate them. By supporting them, we help them to transform moments of sadness, frustration, vulnerability, loss, and trauma into growth and courageous action. So let's tell these frontline workers that we have not forgotten them and that we hold them in our hearts, and that our arms are reaching across great distances and embracing them. I mean, it's great when top-down and grassroots solutionaries can be in alignment and support one another, but this time is really for the community source solutions, the collaborative, grassroots ideas that help us to see one another more clearly, to listen more deeply, and to impact policy. I am thinking these days a lot about Valerie Kaur, the Sikh American activist, who acknowledges that these are dark days, but says, what if the darkness is of the womb and not of the tomb? And surely the midwife would tell us to breathe and to push and to keep laboring for justice even when it feels or seems hopeless. And we might not be able to solve all the problems at once, but if we see division, we can bring people closer together. If we see destructive conflict, we can build bridges, we can reduce violence, we can counter the destructive with the constructive, with revolutionary love, and build solidarity and listen for reimagined solutions. So today, I hope that you feel and enjoy the sense of connection, the curiosity and wonder for one another that allows us to see one another as auntie, uncle, cousin, and to act upon this familial responsibility. We do have to grieve, not simply when the violence is done, but because the wounds will stay open for a while and the losses will be felt for too long. But we will act even as we mourn. We will be resilient, and that is our resistance. And I send you throughout this so much love and much gratitude once again for all that you are doing and will do.
Thank you for such belief and encouragement, Ujjal ji, Shashi ji, Maya ji. Such faith surely gives way to more hands joining us. I must remind you all again, the first part of the campaign was dedicated to raising money for COVID relief work being done by frontline women workers in rural India. We are pleased to announce that within 8 weeks, the campaign was able to reach its goal of raising $100,000. Most of that money came through individual donations of $5,000 to $5,000. Now we are embarking on a campaign to raise $50,000. And I'm pleased to announce that we have already raised $7,000. And with your help, over the next little while, we hope to meet, if not exceed our goal. And all donators can go to the GoFundMe page set up for the campaign. The website is www.gofundme.com, or you can simply search for Frontline Women in India within the GoFundMe website. You can click on the donate button and use your credit card to donate. 100% of your donations will go to support frontline workers. IGI NP Canada will cover the fee involved. For those interested in the art auctions, they can go to the website www.32auctions.com. All the items will be available for bidding until next Sunday, that is July the 18th. Next, I have the privilege to introduce you to facilitators for social change. Facilitators for Social Change is based in Nova Scotia in Atlantic Canada. Anuj Jain Its founder is a long-term supporter of Ekta Parishad's work with indigenous and landless people, land rights, and the Gandhian approach to social change. Facilitators works in several parts of the world, including Kenya, Egypt, Palestine, India, and locally in Canada, supporting disruptive ideas of social change. It is one of the 6 organizations in North America supporting frontline women for COVID response in India. Please welcome Mr. Anuj Jain.
Jai Jagat. Thank you. Thank you, Geet. First of all, it's about 3:10 in the morning in India. To all Indian friends, thanks for making this happen. Wonderful to be such an uplifting event that I'm experiencing right now. Let me just say, as you mentioned, I'm based in Atlantic Canada. And when this call of campaign came 3-4 months back, it looked like a daunting task. And yet, I'm just grateful that friends here, institutions here in Atlantic Canada generously opened their wallets and their sense of solidarity from community here to community far, far away from land and oceans and donated generously. Organizations like Sisters of St. Martha's, East Coast Credit Union, Sydney Credit Union, so many friends opened up their wallets and sense of support to the frontline workers, women workers in India. So grateful. I would like to just also mention and acknowledge, it gave me a chance to work with my son, who is also a musician based in Chicago. He's a classical musician, plays tuba. And he got onto the campaign and reached out to his friends in US and raised funds through GoFundMe as well. I think, in the face of adversity, I think it teaches us how we can come together and beat it. It's just such an uplifting experience. Thank you, and looking forward to raising more funds for the frontline people.
Thank you very much, Anuji. Your smile it says it all. Thank you very much. And don't worry about the time. If whenever the world needs it, Jai Jagat means victory of the world, right? So it is only possible when we wholeheartedly do anything, and trust me, day and night never matters. Thank you very much. The next person who I have the honor of introducing is a playback singer, composer, and a folk singer as well. She was the rustic voice behind the title track of the Hindi film Shivai, and also for the Coke Studio India track Dheere Dheere. Her search for authentic and meaningful music led her to the Adivasis of Jharkhand. She helped form a community of these tribal people and works with them in a group that takes inspiration from Gandhian ideology and helps them tide over their struggles. Let us welcome our next performer, MEGHA DALTON.
जोहार, जय जगत। मेरा यह गांधी गीत समर्पित है कोविड से पीड़ित महिलाओं को, बच्चों को। यह गीत उन्हें भी समर्पित है, उन महिला दीदी को समर्पित है, उन तमाम दोस्तों को समर्पित है जिन्होंने दिन रात एक करके कोविड पीड़ितों की सेवा में अपना सब कुछ लगाया हुआ है। मैं वाकई दिल से धन्यवाद देती हूँ उन तमाम लोगों का जिन्होंने इस नेक काम में आर्थिक और नैतिक और सामाजिक और शारीरिक तौर पर सबके साथ खड़े हैं। जोहार, जय जगत।
कानून से
नीमक बनाया हो, समुंदर से नीमक बनाया। गांधी बाबा कानून से लड़े हो, गांधी बाबा कानून से लड़े। आजादी ला गांधी गावे गावे घूमे, आजादी ला गांधी घरे घरे घूमे। कस्तूरबा दीदी, कस्तूरबा दीदी संगे संगे चले हो, कस्तूरबा दीदी डुगुर डुगुर डोले। गांधी बाबा कानून से लड़े हो, गांधी बाबा कानून से लड़े। बड़ बड़ व्यापारी कारखाना चलावे, बड़ बड़ व्यापारी कारखाना चलावे। गांधी बाबा, गांधी बाबा चरखा चलाए हो, गांधी बाबा चरखा चलाए। गांधी बाबा कानून से लड़े हो, गांधी बाबा कानून से लड़े। बड़ बड़ सिपाही बंदूक से लड़े, बड़ बड़ सिपाही बंदूक से लड़े। गांधी बाबा कानून से लड़े हो, गांधी बाबा चरखा चलाए। जय जगत 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 जय
Thank you very much, Megha ji, for that wonderful performance, wonderful song. And now let's move ahead. The India-Canada Society endeavors to preserve the heritage of India and contribute to the enrichment of Canadian life and culture in Hamilton. It is helping the community at large in raising funds to be sent to Mahila Shanti Sena, which is based in India, a rural women's peace and development organization. Next is the I am introducing Indian Canadian Association from Hamilton. I think we all are getting used to this virtual thing slowly. Allow me to move to the next performance. Okay, we'll get back to this. Our next performer is super young and super talented. Also from India, NIYATHI BIJU is merely 12 years old. She is a student at the PSBB Learning Leadership Academy, Bangalore, and is an 8th grader. Bharatnatyam has been her love since she was 5, when she started learning this classical dance form at the Kalanidhi Nritya Mandiram under the able guidance of Natya Vidushi Sneha Devanandan. NIYATHI has performed for various dance festivals in India and USA and has won many competitions and awards. And she doesn't stop at Bharatnatyam. This young lady is also learning Carnatic classical vocals under the guidance of Srimati S. Aishwarya. Please welcome, with a smile, and if you can give a big round of applause wherever you are sitting, our super talented young lady, the next performer, NIYATHI BIJU.
Namaste. Hello everyone. I'm BIJU. I'm 12 years old and a student in 8th grade. First off, I would like to express solidarity to Ekta Parishad's initiative to bring people together for COVID relief, and I'm extremely honored to be able to perform today. My dance is dedicated to the women and children affected by COVID-19. Today, I will be performing an ancient Indian classical art form called Bharatanatyam, which originated in the southern state of Tamil Nadu. It mostly depicts the various mythological stories of which is inhabited by the powerful snake Kalinga. Krishna offers to retrieve the boy. The little boy tames the snake and even dances on the hood of Kalinga. Next, I will show the story of little Krishna showing the universe in his mouth to his mother Yashoda. Yashoda had gone to get some food for Sri Krishna as he was hungry. She returned to see Krishna eating mud, and she rushed over and asked him to open his mouth. As he hesitantly obliged, Mother Yashoda was astonished to see the 3 worlds in his mouth. And finally, the story of Bhasmasura. Lord Mahavishnu came to the earth in different forms or avatars with the purpose to destroy evil and establish goodwill. Bhasmasura, a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva, was granted a boon to turn to ash anyone whose head was placed under his hand. Full of his power, Bhasmasura tried to place his hand on Lord Shiva's head, much to the Lord's dismay. Mahavishnu, in the form of the enchantress Mohini, captivated the Asura and told him that she would marry him if he agreed to dance with her. Bhasmasura readily agreed and began dancing. Mohini then struck a pose with her hand above her own head. Bhasmasura copied her movements in haste and turned to ashes. These stories of Sri Krishna depict the universality of values and that good will ultimately win over evil. I once again would like to express my support to the noble cause. I also thank Jill Auntie for this amazing opportunity. Jai Jagat.
ललाट फल जय
Wow, that was one amazing performance, Niyati. Thank you for gracing this evening. The next performance we'll be watching is the Jai Jagat song written by the famous poet Dukhayal, a close associate of Acharya Vinoba Bhave, who coined the thought of Jai Jagat. As I said, it literally means victory of the world. The music has been composed by Gaurav Bhatt and sung by Shikha Bhatt, Gaurav Bhatt, and Devrat Bhatt, who are well-known singers of Rajasthan and come from the illustrious family of musicians, including Grammy Award winner Shri Vishwa Mohan Bhatt. They have also sung songs on Meera Bai, the legendary devotee of Lord Krishna, who represents women's voice of revolt and dissent. The musicians are sharing this song in support of COVID relief efforts by Ekta Mahila Manch in India. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gaurav Bhatt, Shikha Bhatt, and Devrat Bhatt.
This is famous Jai Jagat song written by a famous poet Padma Shri Dukhayal, a close associate of Acharya Vinoba Bhave, who coined the thought of Jai Jagat, which means victory of the world. The music has been composed by Shri Gaurav Bhatt and sung by Shikha Bhatt, Geetika Bhatt Narayanan, Gaurav Bhatt and Devrat Bhatt, who are well-known singers of Rajasthan and come from the illustrious family of musicians including Grammy Award winner and Padma Shri Padma Bhushan Pandit Vishwa Mohan Bhatt. They have also sung songs on Meera Bai, the devotee of Lord Krishna, and his women's voice of revolt and dissent. The musicians are sharing this song in support of COVID relief efforts by Ekta Mahila Manch in India.
जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा, जय जगत पुकार जा। जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा। सबके हित के वास्ते, सबके हित के वास्ते, अपना सुख बिसार जा, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा। प्रेम की पुकार हो, सबका सबसे प्यार हो, प्रेम की पुकार हो, सबका सबसे प्यार हो। जीत हो जहान की, जीत हो जहान की, क्यों किसी की हार हो, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा। विधान हो, सबका हक समान हो, न्याय का विधान हो, सबका हक समान हो। सबकी अपनी हो ज़मीन, सबकी अपनी हो ज़मीन, सबका आसमान हो, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा। रंग भेद छोड़ दो, जात पात तोड़ दो, रंग भेद छोड़ दो, जात पात तोड़ दो। मानवों की आपसी, मानवों की आपसी, अखंड प्रीत जोड़ दो, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा, जय जगत पुकार जा, सिर अमन पे वार जा। शांति की हवा चले, जग कहे भले भले, शांति की हवा चले, जग कहे भले भले, दिन उगे स्नेह का, दिन उगे स्नेह का, रात रंज की ढले। जय जगत जय जगत जय जगत हार जा हार जा, हार जा, जय जगत जय जगत जय जगत हार जा हार जा, हार जा, जय जगत हार जा, हार जा।
जय जगत पुकारे जा, सिर अमन पे वारे जा. Thank you very much for a beautiful rendition of the Jai Jagat song, Gaurav ji, Sakshi ji, and Devrat ji. I must now invite Mr. Rahil Khan of the MG Peace Council of Ottawa. It is an important Mahatma Gandhi Center for Education in the capital of Canada. Please welcome Mr. Rahil Khan.
Thank you, Geet. Welcome, Vietnamese Ami. Adab, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal. Thank you for joining us here for this important event. इस सम्मेलन में आने का आपका बहुत धन्यवाद. I also want to thank our friends in India, like Geet, who are up very, very late to make this event possible. और मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ उन मित्रों का जो इंडिया में इतनी रात में जागे हैं इस सम्मेलन की सफलता के लिए. My name is Rahil Khan. I'm Vice President of an organization in Ottawa, Canada, called the Mahatma Gandhi Peace Council of Ottawa, as well as founder of an offshoot called the Mahatma Gandhi Next Generation Leaders Initiative. The Peace Council, on one hand, focuses on educating Canadians about Gandhian principles and practices, while MGNGL tries to develop change agents in Canada inspired by these principles and practices. The participants in this event represent these different sides of Gandhiji's philosophy. In response to the Seva component of Gandhiji's philosophy, I wanted to direct our attendees to an online art auction that is taking place as we speak for the next 2 weeks, organized by IGINP Canada and the Mahatma Gandhi Next Generation Leaders. A range of intriguing paintings and photos are on display at the 32 auction website link that you can actually see right behind me, and I'll keep up for the rest of the program. All proceeds will be going to support frontline COVID relief by the Ekta Parishad network of organizations in India. So I please urge you to have a look at this online auction while you enjoy the rest of this program. So thank you again, and back to you, Geet.
Thank you very much, Rahil ji. And I'm sure people are donating with an open heart. Now, our next performer, SHAMA BHATE. She's from India. 32 years back, she founded ROOP as a Kathak dance school, but she has gone beyond the traditional form and explored new choreographic possibilities using various art media like painting, line drawing, sculpture, cinema, etc. Over the years, 600 students have studied at ROOP and are performing and teaching across the globe. Our next performance is by ROOP, fronted by SHAMA BHATE.
Namaskar. I am grateful that Ekta Foundation has asked us to put up our dance in this noble cause. I've been associated with Ekta Foundation for some years, and I know their work. I know that how selflessly they work for the downtrodden and the underprivileged people. Because of the pandemic, everybody is distressed and in despair, and we are all trying to help people, and I'm very happy to participate in this noble cause of helping people through this sorrow, through this suffering. I have chosen one composition foundation which talks about the women's suffering and the inner turmoil. And I think that now people like Jill Harris and Rajaji are standing up to help women in distress. And I'm really, really thankful to them for making us a part of this. Namaste.
इंद्र ने भेष बदलकर धोखा दिया और अहिल्या बेचारी धोखा खा गई। इसकी इतनी बड़ी सजा क्यों चुकाए वो ये कीमत? कोई गौतम, कोई इंद्र, कोई राम क्यों तय करे उसकी डेस्टिनी? क्यों?
कौन हूं मैं सखी, मात्र सखी। इसके अतिरिक्त कोई व्यक्तित्व, कोई पहचान ही आपने मुझे दी नहीं कविवर। राधा कृष्ण के प्रणयोत्सुक मिलन समय में अदृश्य होने की कला आपने मुझे दी। क्षोभ और नैराश्य में डूबती उधरती राधा के उद्विग्न अशांत मन को शीतल करने की संवेदनशीलता भी आप ही की तो देन है। कृष्ण के उस मेघ श्यामल वर्ण के स्पर्श की अनुभूति कभी मुझे भी प्राप्त हो, ऐसा विचार आपके मन में कभी ना आया? सदा कमल पत्र की तरह अलिप्त रही। और मैं कभी राधा की सखी, कभी कृष्ण की दूती। उनके मिलन विरह राग अनुराग के बीच अधर में टंगे किसी लोलक की तरह यहाँ से वहाँ, इधर से उधर बस डोलती रही।
अपनी अपनी जाई रो रो कर हमसे अपनी जान की याचना कर रही है। ऐसा कौन सा पाप किया था उसने जो विरासत भी लेके आई तो ये अभी तो नहीं आई बहू के ब्याह को 9 दिन तक पूरे ना हुए, हाथों की मेहंदी का रंग तक फीका ना पड़ा, गहना की चमक तक ना गई, और या बेचारी ने सती चढ़ जावन रो बंधन है।
बिरहा की आग में मैं सारी उम्र जलती रही। भीम तो कब के जा चुके। मैं ते ही तुम्हें पाल पोस की तुम्हारे पिता से भी सर्वश्रेष्ठ योद्धा बनाई, ताकि अंत में मेरे इस असफल प्रेम की वेदी पर तुम्हार भी बलि चढ़ा सकूं मेरे दुलारे घटोत्कच।
Wow, what a performance by Roop. Brilliant is the word. And that reminds me how I cannot wait to go out again, be in theaters, see concerts. Ah, may that time come soon. I now call upon another ardent voice of peace, Reva Joshi. Reva Joshi is an educator with a profound interest in working for peace and justice. She is currently the co-chair of the Mahatma Gandhi Canadian Foundation for World Peace. Reva is interested in democratic approaches to policy and education, as well as diversity and social justice policies, as well as diversity in social justice policies in education. She uses the lens of education for peace as defined by Gandhian principles to work in areas of policy and diversity in Canada and elsewhere. Her general interests include education for peace, diversity, citizenship, policy, as well as photography and calligraphy. So please welcome Reva Joshi.
Thank you, Geet. And thank you to everybody who's been involved in this amazing event. I want to just say a few words about the Gandhi Foundation. The Mahatma Gandhi Canadian Foundation for World Peace has been in existence since 1988. And although it's based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, out west, it sees its vision. We see our vision, our mandate as very global. We've had an association with Jilban and Rajaji since 2007, and we've been honored to be working with Ekta Parishad and Jai Jagat, the Jai Jagat movement since then. We are also blessed to be in the company of our colleagues from the 5 other organizations that have been involved in this campaign. I want to in particular say a few words about the India-Canada Society. We somehow missed hearing from our dear colleague Sri Mohanty. The India-Canada Society has been involved for several years with McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, to do an annual peace festival, Gandhi Peace Festival, and several other educational events around Gandhian principles. They've also been working tirelessly for at least 2 decades with the Mahila Shanti Sena movement in India. So I really want to thank them for all of the work that they have done, that they continue to do. I want to also thank everyone in the other organizations as well for their commitment to Gandhian principles and their support for our sisters and brothers in India. We're touched by the outpouring of generosity and love that we've seen from those who have contributed time, money, and as you can see today, their artistic talents to support COVID relief and rebuilding communities in India. Bless you all, and Jai Jagat. Back to you, Geet.
Thank you very much, Revaji. Thank you very much. Let's move forward. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our next performer, SHAMA Kumar. As a mentor, facilitator, speaker, and internationally recognized author and dance artist, SHAMA teaches and inspires thousands of people each year. She has been doing deep work, dance, and mindfulness practice for over 30 years now. She uses dance and its therapeutic effects as a means to cultivate global community dialogues and to facilitate personal transformation. She has performed extensively, has achieved a PhD in dance as a Fisher Center Fellow, has advanced training in movement analysis and somatic movement therapy, and worked for 14 years as a tenured dance professor in Hawaii and Los Angeles. She now choreographs, leads retreats, continues to expand her research, and works as a creative advisor for the International Gandhian Institute of Nonviolence and Peace. Our next performance is by this amazing artist who has given her life to dance, peace, and happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, smile broad and please welcome SHAMA Kumar.
Hi everyone, my name is Shauna and I've been part of a small group of Gandhian activists and organizations in Canada and the United States with the nonprofit organization that I co-founded called Dharma in Motion. So we've been helping to raise funds since April 2021 during this really devastating wave of the COVID pandemic to help people on the front lines to distribute items for COVID relief. And I'm very thankful to the women of Ekta Parishad who have been on the front lines distributing items and to the Jai Jagat movement. I wanted to share this dance that I made during the pandemic as a way of thinking about our interconnectivity and also to think about ways that we can create positive change through small acts, acts that value each other and our ecosystem. It's a dance that I made about the ocean called Ocean Prayer, and it highlights plastics in the oceans that are affecting mammals, fish, or anything that depends on the ocean for food. It takes place at the beach in San Clemente near Los Angeles, California, where I'm based, and the dancers and I had to be safe, so we worked on Zoom to create the movement and then gathered safely outside at the beach to finalize the movement. And an artist, Donna Gilmore, also created the set out of secondhand materials we found, and the items that you see in the background that are in front of the ocean are symbolic of the garbage that we throw into the ocean that is messing up our ecosystem. So I wanted to share a positive message, a message of hope, and also a way of contemplating or meditating on the ways that we are all interconnected. And
Maya, oh, oh,
Wow, I'm speechless. In fact, I was on that beach, That amazing performance was choreographed by SHAMA, ladies and gentlemen. And there's something about dancers, I have so much respect for dancers and people who do sports, sportsmen. So much blood and sweat. Wow. I wish I was a dancer, Well, our next guest is set to maintain the tempo as she is also an electrifying performer. With a diverse background as an entertainer, Rosanna Tavarez has worked with Marina Abramovic, Ryan Heffington, Travis Payne, Tony Michaels, Rosanna Gamson, and the Heidi Duckler Dance Theatre, to name a few. She also toured with NSYNC and Jessica Simpson as 1/5 of the girls group Eden's Crush, and covered the Emmys, Grammys, and Oscars in addition to hosting her own shows. She has hosted shows for broadcasting biggies like Fox, TV Guide Network, and Telemundo on NBC. But the list doesn't end here. She's one of the 7 certified American counter technique teachers. Her dance works have been presented by the Broad Museum, Red Cat, American Dance Festival, LA Department of Cultural Affairs, LA Dance Platform, the Odyssey, Highway Performance Space, Breaking Ground Dance Festival, and Sarasota Contemporary Dance. Her works have received support from ARC grant from the Center of Cultural Innovation, UCLA Art House Residency, and Showbox LA. Okay, that is a seriously accomplished life. I'm so honored that I had the opportunity to introduce you all to it. I can't wait to see her perform, and I'm sure you all share this feeling with me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rosanna Tavarez.
Hi, everybody. This is Rosanna Tavarez, and the dance film that I created that you're about to see is titled Revolver, and that's a play on the Spanish word revolver, which means to mix up, but the second half of that word is volver, which means to return. So it's inspired by wanting to be in the mix again with the people that we love, wanting to be in the environments that we love to be in, and to be back in a place of community and back in a place of safety. So I hope you enjoy it. I filmed it predominantly, or all of it actually, in North Hollywood, California, which is where I live. It's the place that I've gotten very familiar with in the last 14 months during lockdown. And yeah, I wanted to create something that was uplifting and look towards the future with optimism. I hope you enjoy it.
No hay tierra como la mía, y esta milonga les canto, y esta milonga les canto, y si alguien me desafía, le juego dándole tanto.
soy un curioso de avería, que el mundo fui recorriendo, que el mundo fui recorriendo y al final vine diciendo, no hay tierra como la mía.
Wow. Thank you for that, Rosanna. That was a wonderful performance. And as I said, I was mesmerized. I am always mesmerized by dancers. And thank you very much. With two back-to-back mind-blowing performances by internationally acclaimed artists, now let me draw your attention to this young Indian performer. I've had the pleasure of watching this person grow as an artist. He started as a novice with a guitar about 8-10 years ago and has slowly grown into a full-time music composer. Born in a family of development workers, I would say music chose him or found him. But despite a different life, Siddharth has always been connected to the grassroots, given his family background. He has performed in many scenarios, from urban slums to villages to concerts to urban professional stages. His music has been a call for justice for the marginalized. His work can be found on the internet, in Bollywood movies like Kick, and his single like Beparwahiyan. This evening, Siddharth Singh, and we call him Winnie with love. So Winnie is beginning his performance with the soul of Jai Jagat and will be ending it with the modern English rendition of Jai Jagat song. Put your hands together with a broad smile for our next performer, Siddharth Singh, who we lovingly call Winnie.
Jai Jagat. My name is Siddharth and I'm a musician from India. My relationship with Jill Auntie and Raju Uncle goes long back. They're like a mother-father figure to me. And I joined this fundraiser to support and amplify the voices of the women frontline workers who are trying to stop what COVID intends to do. So come on, let's join our hands together and show our support to the unsung warriors. Jai Jagat. Hey friends, this is Siddharth, and this is a random track that I'm playing, so let's just do it.
Thank you. And now the Jagat song, English rendition.
Sing along, Jai Jagat, call along, Jai Jagat. Sing along, Jai Jagat, call along, Jai Jagat. For peace let the souls come alive, for justice and joy come alive. Sing along, Jai Jagat, call along, Jai Jagat. Sing along, Jai Jagat, call along, Jai Jagat. Be the call of love, let love be in all. Victory to the world and no one to be lost. Be the call of love, let love be in all. Victory to the world, no one to be lost. Let color be no bar, let caste be no bar. Let love be the need of our, let the love for all be the bar. Winds of peace shall blow around, We shall all now sing along. Let the sun of love be strong. Let the night of hate be gone. Let the night of hate be gone. Sing along, Jai Jagat. Call along, Jai Jagat. For peace, let the souls come alive. For justice and joy come alive. Sing along, Jai Jagat. Call along, Jai Jagat. Sing along, Jai Jagat. Call along, Jai Jagat.
Wow, it's so nice to see our own Winnie doing such great work. Thank you, Siddharth Singh, aka Winnie. Before we move forward, I would like to invite Janmejay Singh to take over and tell us about Jai Jagat International Movement. Please welcome Janmejay Singh.
Thank you, Kichi. It's a pleasure to briefly introduce the movement. You've already talked about it, and the song that we just heard was about the movement of Jai Jagat, and it's a movement of peace and non-violence and solidarity. The word Jai Jagat means victory to the world and is therefore, just by definition, international. Inspired by the life and work of Mahatma Gandhi, it draws upon non-violent ethos from all across the world, from Dr. Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Acharya Vinoba Bhave, and other such torchbearers of non-violent movements who have provided the tools for action to make this world more just and empathetic. Jai Jagat, as an international movement, is on a clear path to make a global community of grassroots leaders, united against disparity, against discrimination, against exclusion, to fight irresponsible behavior towards the environment and violence in any form against people, against the planet, and to bring people together. And it has been successful in that it has brought together a committed group of amazing diversity from all continents, backgrounds, and age groups. There's a huge and active involvement of youth in Jai Jagat across the world. And I'm glad to see that there are so many participants here in today's program who are also associated with our movement of nonviolence and peace. Thank you, Kichi. Handing back to you.
Thank you, Janmejay ji. That was so nice and brief. Now, on to the final performance of the evening. I'd like to invite our next guest to share a few words with us before we lead to the final performance. Karen Sera is the president of the International Gandhian Institute for Nonviolence and Peace, Canada, also known as IGINP Canada. IGINP Canada is one of the Gandhian organizations involved in the fundraising effort for frontline women in India during the COVID crisis. She is the managing director for equity, diversity, and inclusion at the Canada Pension Plan Investment Board, one of the largest pension funds in the world. Karen is also a scholar in peace education, having written her doctoral dissertation on the significance of ahimsa in education. Thank you. And please put your hands together for Karen Sera, everyone.
I think that maybe Karen isn't here, so maybe I can say a word about IGINP Canada. I am also part of that organization, and it's a relatively new organization. We only started a few years ago, but we have a great group of people who are involved from across the country, and we are so pleased to be able to be part of this large initiative. We've held the purse, as you may say, for the initiative through Canada. We've been taking care of transferring the funds. We've also been organizing the main GoFundMe page. It's, again, just an honor, a privilege to be part of this. We are totally committed to the work that we are doing with all of you. And while I've got the mic for a second, I may also just say a word about Dharma in Motion. You saw the dance that Shauna KUMMER had choreographed. Her organization, Dharma in Motion, which formed really as a way to bring together dance and social justice and peace for the world, has been our one organization based in the United States. They have done an amazing job and are currently continuing this work by starting to forge an alliance with Microsoft to continue to support the effort. So many, many thanks to Dharma in Motion and to all of the people who have been involved with this initiative. Thank you so much. Back to you, Geet.
Thank you very much, Revaji. I must say that some great work is happening. This is amazing that we can, come together and do this in solidarity. And IGINP Canada is doing amazing work. And all the other people associated, I want to thank them. Also, I want to thank this opportunity for having me on board and letting me do this. This is not only honor and pride, this is very, very humbling, and I'm so glad to be a part of this. Thank you very much for that. Now, for the big three, let's put our hands together for Jim Cuddy, Devin Cuddy, and Sam Polley. James Gordon Cuddy, or Jim Cuddy, as we all know him, needs no introduction. Born in Toronto in 1955, Jim has traveled all around the globe with his music. It warms my heart to know that the legendary band Blue Rodeo was born in the same year as I was, 1984. Jim has received some of Canada's highest honors. He is an Order of Canada. He is an Order of Canada recipient, multiple Juno Awards winner, a member of the Canadian Music Hall of Fame and Canada's Walk of Fame. He has released 5 solo albums and has 15 albums to his credit as part of the band Blue Rodeo. Last year in August, Jim released his latest single, Good News, and we all know how badly we needed good news at that point in time. I would say we need it even today. Jim has been an advocate for music education as a spokesperson for many music initiatives and was the driving force behind the creation of the Juno Cup annual charity hockey game. The second of this dynamic trio is Devin Cuddy. Devin was born to make music. He has kept the legacy alive as he has followed the footsteps of his father. He is a singer, songwriter, and also the frontier for the Devin Cuddy Band. In 2014, their first album, Volume 1, was nominated for Roots and Traditional Album of the Year in the group category at the Juno Awards. Tonight, we'll have the privilege of watching both father and son perform together for us with Sam Polley, the third. Allow me to introduce the third member also. Sam grew up in the music industry. In 2017, he formed a band called Sam Polley and the Old Tomorrows. Recently, they finished work on their debut album, Time Forgot, which draws its sound from the 50s and 60s. So ladies and gentlemen, could we have a big round of applause for our last performance of the evening, the legendary trio, Jim Cuddy, Devin Cuddy, and Sam Polley.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Cuddy. These are my sons, Sam Polley, Devin Cuddy. We're here to offer a few songs in solidarity with all the frontline workers of Ekta Parishad. We understand all the hard work that's being done and how difficult it must be, and how sometimes depressing, but somehow you forge on. And we hope that this will raise a little money to support the cause, and hopefully we can provide a tiny little bit of help. Sam, start us off.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly how I feel. Put it up on a dusty shelf. Never thinking it's for you, it's only for everybody else. But just one time is all it takes for you to change your mind forever and finally away. There you were across the floor, moving and dancing in that way I just adore. Pardon me, I don't mean to be rude. I interrupt to see if you like getting late night food. And that could have been the story's end, but it's fate or luck, what have you, I saw you again. Now it's clear to me to see that baby when you look at me, I wanna be with you until the end of time. So in the morning when you leave, will you come back, say baby, tell me all your time and love me tenderly. Well, here we go again. Can I take you out and introduce you to all my friends? And don't be scared, don't be shy. You're most important, don't fall in love with the other guys. Your love is just for me to share, to hold on forever, forever to take care. Now it's clear to me to see, baby, when you look at me, I wanna be with you until the end of time. So in the morning when you leave, will you come back, say, baby, please, give me all your time and love me tenderly. Never be alone. I've already left so hopeless. No, I can never give it up. Give up the only love I know. And it's clear to me to see, baby, when you look at me, I wanna be with you until the end of time. So in the morning when you leave, will you come back, say, baby, please, give me all your time and love me tenderly. And I'll make sure before you go, baby, you surely know I'll give you all my time and love you tenderly.
Sam Pauly.
Thank you so
tenderly.
much.
So youngest to oldest, we skip up a few years.
Just a few.
Devin Cuddy.
Well, I turned 18 and I didn't know just what to do and where to go. I didn't play no sports, I wasn't in no band. Didn't want to eat from some boss's hand, but I always liked what the general said, and I ain't afraid to end up dead. Daddy always said to be a man, so I'm shipping off to Afghanistan. Well, my my girlfriend says that it must be crazy, oh, 'cause up to now I've just been lazy, sitting around with no purpose at all, just waiting for the big old axe to fall. Well, I always like what the general said, and I ain't afraid to end up dead. Daddy always said to be a man, so I'm shipping off to Afghanistan. Come on, Jimmy. Well, I saw a recruiter just the other day. He said, you're looking for adventure, come this way. He gave me a pen, he said, a sign right here. I said, what am I gonna do about mama's tears? But I always liked what the general said, and I ain't afraid to end up dead. Daddy always said to be a man, so I'm shipping off to Afghanistan. And it was our first night under the desert heat, and we were sitting there pumping some for our old beef, when all of a sudden the thunder hit the van. I heard a man say, take cover if you can, but I always liked what the general said, and I ain't afraid to end up dead. Daddy always said to be a man, so I'm shipping off to Afghanistan. But I always liked what the general said, and I ain't afraid to end up dead. Daddy always said to be a man, so I'm shipping off to Afghanistan.
All right. Very nice. Oh my gosh. This is, I understand, going to be a mixture of artists, musicians from India and musicians from Canada. I once had the great opportunity of being over in India and playing with some Indian musicians, and it was, I mean, it's a very different style of music, of course, but it's also even a different scale. And so it was really interesting to play with these young, I guess it was all men, but maybe there were, anyway, these young men, and try to adapt our styles to each other. So it'd be interesting to hear how all this works together. They met in a hurricane, standing in the shelter out of the rain. She tucked a note into his hand. Later on, they took his car, drove on down where the beaches are. He wrote her name in the sand, never even let go of her hand. Somehow they stayed that way for those 5 days in May, made all the stars around them shine. It's funny how you can look in vain, living on nerves and such sweet pain, a loneliness that cuts so fine. Find the face you've seen 1,000 times. Sometimes the world begins to set you up on your feet again, and oh, it wipes the tears from your eyes. circumstances go, always gonna hit you by surprise. Well, I know my past, you were there in everything I've done. You are the one. Looking back, it's hard to tell why they stood while others fell. You spend your life working it out. Well, all I know is one cloudy day, they both just ran away. Rain on the windshield headed south. Though she loved the lines around his mouth. Sometimes the world begins, set you up on your feet again, and oh, it wipes the tears from your eyes. And how will you ever know the way that circumstances go, always gonna hit you by surprise. Well, I know my past, you were there in everything I've done. You are the one. Devin Cuddy on the piano. Nice job. No, we have one more song for you here. Thanks again for including us. I know my friend out there, Jill Harris, was the one that got us involved, so admiration to you, Jill, for doing the work you do. And to everybody at Ekta Parashad, congratulations, and Thank you for having us.
Baltimore Jackal, I went out for a ride, and I never went back. Just like a river that don't know where it's flown, I took a wrong turn and I just kept going. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart. Lay down your money and you play your part. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart.
I met her in a Kingstown bar. We found a love I knew it had to end. We took what we had and we ripped it apart. Now here I am back in Kingstown again. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart. Lay down your money and you play your part. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart. Everybody needs a place to rest. Oh, everybody needs to have a home. Well, it make no difference what nobody says. Oh, ain't nobody like to be alone. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart. Lay down your money and you play your part. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart. Lay down your money and you play your part. Oh, everybody's got a hungry heart.
Thank you all very much. Sam Polley, Devin Cuddy, Jim Cuddy. See you later.
जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा ओ हमनवा. What a brilliant performance by the father-sons trio. A big thank you and applause for Jim Cuddy, Devin Cuddy, and Sam Polley, everyone. I so want to get back on stage, perform, sing, make people dance and sing along, waiting for days to come back. Maybe someday I come to Canada and get to perform with Sir Jim Cuddy and the trio. Maybe in the house itself, sitting together and singing. Wow, it was wonderful. Okay then. And with that lovely performance, this evening comes to an end. I want to thank today's audience for being with us till the end and supporting this noble cause. And much, much gratitude to all the performers from around the world for doing your bit through your art. Before we conclude, I would like to draw your attention once more, especially for those who may have joined us late, that this evening is part of a larger campaign that has been organized by 6 Gandhian and peace organizations in Canada and the United States. As an Indian artist, this act of solidarity between nations and artists really warms my heart, and I hope there are many more such endeavors. The first part of this campaign was dedicated to raising money for COVID relief work, being done by frontline women workers in rural India. We are pleased to announce that within 8 weeks, the campaign was able to reach its goal of raising $100,000. Most of that money came through individual donations of $5,000 to $5,000. Now we are embarking on a campaign to raise $50,000. I'm pleased to announce that when we started the program, we already had raised $7,000, and I'm sure we have done further better. And with your help, we hope to meet our goal. And I don't know the status yet, but maybe we have met the goal. I don't know. But then keep donating, keep helping the world, keep helping India, the frontline women workers. All the donation can go, all the donators can go to the GoFundMe page set up for the campaign. The website is www.gofundme.com, or you can simply go and search for Frontline Women in India within the GoFundMe website. You can click on the donate button and use your credit cards to donate. 100% of your donations will go to support frontline workers. IGI NP Canada will cover any transactions involved, any fees which is involved. For those interested in art auction, they can go to the website www.32auctions.com. All the items will be available for bidding until the next Sunday, July the 18th. And thank you for a wonderful evening, all of you people. Thank you for having me. I'm your host, GEET Sagar from Mumbai, signing off. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Jai Jagat.
Jai Jagat.
Jai Jagat.
Jai
Thank you.
Jagat.